take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they love one day docked away. Just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. You love another psychopath sitting next to you. You love another murderer sitting next to you. You think I'd get here sitting next to you. But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. We don't deal with outsiders very well. They say newcomers have a certain smell. Yeah, trust issues not to mention. They say they can smell your intentions. You laughing on the freak show sitting next to you. You laugh some weird people sitting next to you. You think how did I get here sitting next to you? But after all I've said, please don't forget. Friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. To warn you just to stay away. And now they're outside ready to buzz. It looks like you might be one of us.
Welcome, champion member Brandon Pratt, to the team, buddy.
I just wanna stay in the sun where I find. I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. Yeah, I think about the end just way too much. But it's fun to fantasize on my enemies who wouldn't wish who I was. But it's fun to fantasize. Oh, oh, oh. Taking my time on my ride. Oh, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take. A bullet for them, a bullet for you, a bullet for everybody in this room. But they don't seem to see many bullets coming through. See many bullets coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I'd live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to write when you know that tonight there were people back home who tried talking to you, but then you ignore them still. All these questions, they're falling like, who would you live for? Who would you die for? And would you ever kill? Oh, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Oh, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Oh, 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 oh. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Oh, 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 I'm falling, so I'm taking my time. Taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me.
Do you know what independence looks like, bro? You're staring at it.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Midday Show. It's good to see you here. I have a great show planned for you today. Lots to talk about, lots to do. As you can see from the title there, we're going to go through the Week 6 Pick'em picks. I'll pick those on the air just in just a second here. Courtesy of Nate the Great. We'll look at the results from last week, and I'll make my picks for this week against the spread. Get to pick, I think it's like 8 picks out of a dozen or something. So we'll see what the best 8 picks are, and I'll see how I did last week. I think I did pretty good last week, but I actually don't know. We'll find out in a second. Also, for all you space nerds out there is a SpaceX launch at noon. So I'll have to keep an eye on the clock here. I want to watch that live. This is not an unmanned mission. This is actually it's 3 astronauts and 1 cosmonaut Funny that we are constantly battling with Russia, but we have no problem sending going to space with each other. You know, I guess space is the great equalizer. Put all your troubles aside, as long as we can explore space together. And since every time we do one of these launches, it makes me think of flat earthers, because flat earthers go crazy with these space launches, right? So we'll check in with our big-breasted flat earther, our favorite big-breasted flat earther. We haven't checked in with her in a couple of months. So maybe right before the launch or right after, we'll go over to TokTok. I haven't been on TokTok in a while. I don't even think I've logged into my TikTok in a couple of months. Anyway, I'll log in there and see what she's up to. I'm sure she's up to some amazing and fantastic shenanigans. And in between that, I'll read a little bit of news as well. I would also like to say thank you, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of everybody in the chat and everybody in the college football world, when I say thank you, little baby Jesus in the manger, and grown-up bearded sandal Jesus, as well as Allah, a Buddha. Am I missing anybody? Whatever, all of the gods, all of the everyone that everybody worships. Thank you for letting Aaron Judge hit his 62nd home run, so we don't have to hear about that shit anymore. You're welcome. Man, it was so cold in my house. Like, I don't know. Well, I am kind of like above the garage, but this room I'm in has got to be 40 degrees. I walked in here to fire up the computer and get ready for the show, and I was in here shivering. I was like, I got to go get a jacket. It's ridiculous. I'm not complaining though. I'm digging the weather right now. Let's see who's in the chat, shall we? We shall. Yes. I hope you enjoyed your wrench while you had it, Mrs. Peete. Matt Dummett's here. Goose Sports, Brendan Pratt, Alan A. says Mayhem Matthew has lost his mind. I don't know what you're referring to. Is he made some sort of video where he's, well, I mean, have you seen any of his videos? The guy lost his mind a long time ago. I don't know. Is there a certain event that I should be looking at? I don't know. Volusia Orange is here. Perfect guy to watch the space launch with me. The SpaceX launch. I don't even know where these guys are going. I'm assuming they're going to the space station. I really don't know. I don't know where else they'd be going. They're not going to the moon, as far as I know. But yeah, perfect guy to watch the launch with. Wilkie is here. Brad Pitt. Stingray. Sven Kreuzberg. Slim Shady Canes. Colby. A Ohio, not an Ohio or the Ohio, but of course A Ohio, our buddy A Ohio. He says, okay, I really enjoy hanging with all of you. However, I'm only able to because I'm sick. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get well soon, sir. I hope you're not like sick, like hospital type sick. Maybe you just, I don't know, maybe you got the flu or something. You're laid up in the house. Either way, I'm glad you're here. The Uncle Lou is here. He says, good morning. Good morning to you too, sir. The real Big Lee, not the fake Big Lee or the phony Big Lee, but the real Big Lee. When did that trend start? You know, all the celebrities on like on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. It's at the real whatever. Right? Like my favorite rapper's Tech9, right? So I follow him on Twitter. His Twitter handle's like at the real Tech9. I guess because people make fake ones of you, but can't somebody make a fake one where they say at the real though? If I was trying to fake somebody's account, I would just make it at the real. You got to think of these things. Jeremy Garrettson, what's up? Go Bucks is here. Pigskin Pete 2024. Are you talking about for president? No, sir, I don't have time. I'm too busy making midday and call-in shows to run for president. At least I know I have one person vote for me, though. What's up, Battle Angel? Redavius Hall. What was that? Oh, that's the greatest video in the history of videos. The North Korea military band doing Rage Against the Machine? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. There's nothing better on the planet. First of all, they're not really doing that, but the genius that edited that together is just like I said, he's a genius. The irony is thick, bro. Nate the Great's here, working right now while listening to the amazing and fantastic Pigskin Pete. Well, I appreciate you, brother. Neo is here. Mrs. Pete, Lizard Circus. Yeah, little baby Jesus. I prefer little baby manger Jesus over bearded sandal Jesus myself. That's just me, though. Yeah. Pete Lou was talking about the NCAA running the clock with incomplete passes. I don't want them to ruin college football. Yeah, well, look, I don't want them to run the clock during incomplete passes. I would rather them just spend less time reviewing every play. They need to have somebody whose job it is, even if it's not on site. They're watching every play. They're in a room somewhere, even in a different city. It doesn't matter. And they can make a decision and pipe it into the ref if there's some sort of controversy about the play within, I don't know, 15 or 20 seconds, the same way that we all can see it on the replay before, we see it on replay. We've decided what's happened 5 minutes before the guy who's looking into whatever that little TV box is on the sideline does. That's the problem. That's why these games are taking 4 hours. That and for whatever reason, the average TV break used to be about a minute and a half for the scheduled TV breaks. Now they're 3.5 minutes. So that's another part of it. So I don't want to change the rules of the game. How about let's just get rid of some of the other bullshit? That's just my 2 cents. But of course, that's not going to happen because it's all about the money and the commercials bring money and that's all they care about. They don't care about us, believe me. What's up, Country Tiger? Raj is here. Beautiful mother effer. Nature Boy. Worshipping little babies is weird. Yeah. Well, that's true. Well, is it any different than worshiping bearded sandal Jesus? I mean, 6, 1/2 dozen the other. It's in my opinion. Well, whatever floats your boat, man. It's also weird to worship an obese sumo wrestling looking Buddha too, isn't it? I worship the God of truth. How about that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, let's take a look and see if we got the picks. You guys need to keep an eye on the clock for me because I don't want to miss this SpaceX launch. I know it's going to be broadcast live on YouTube. I'm definitely going to watch it. They're supposed to do liftoff at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, let's see here. We got... Well, let's look at last week first. Let's do that. Standings. All right. So in first place right now, Nate has been overtaken. Nate's been in first place the whole time. I mean, all season. Looks like he's tied for first still. I said he's overtaken. He's tied. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, four-way tie for first. And look who's in there. Nature Boy, Robert Christie, Nate the Great, and Evan Williams all tied for first place. Baylor Man, although his team is disappointing this season, his picks on the Nate the Great Pick'em League is not disappointing. Got a 1, 2, 3-way tie for fifth. Baylor Man, dog behind enemy lines, and Paxton. In eighth place coming in is J-Dog and Rick Sanchez. 10th place, Chase Woods, Dalton from T-Town, your boy Pigskin Pete, and John Lumpkin, and William. Good job. 15th place, B. Bean, Dale Rawls, and Traveling Fools. 18th place, Ben Schlein, or Schellen. Okie 29. 20th place, Luke Walker. Luke Walker picks about as good as his defense does. Also in 20th place, what is that? Oh, that's Christian. 22nd, Ronnie H. 23rd, X-Wing. 24th, Wilkie False. I guess that's the opposite of the real Wilkie. It's the false Wilkie. And last, but certainly not least, the worst picker of all of these jabronis, Mike Taylor. Congratulations, Mike, for being the biggest loser in the picking bracket. We still have a long way to go. All right? It's not over till it's over. It's not over till Chess Hall sings. All right, let's look at this week. Hold on. I'm having a conversation. I'll be right back. Sorry. I got interrupted there. All right. So Michigan and Indiana. Michigan is a 21.5 point favorite against Indiana. Indiana's 3-2. This game is in Indiana. Not that that matters. Michigan getting a lot of love from everybody except for your boy. Now, I'm not saying I don't love them. Look, they're undefeated. They looked good. They've played terrible teams except for Maryland. So Maryland's really the only team with a pulse that they've played, and Maryland did at least give them a game. It wasn't a blowout. At least for the majority of the game, it wasn't a blowout. But despite all that, give me Michigan at minus 21.5. I don't think this game will be particularly close. So give me the Wolverines. This is game day. TCU at Kansas. Kansas obviously 5-0. TCU 4-0. Will this be the time or the week that Kansas gets brought back to reality? We just saw TCU dismantle Baylor, who I think is a pretty good team. I think this is the week that Kansas gets brought back to reality. I think TCU's got a good squad. 6.5, but this is a home underdog by almost a touchdown. Usually, if you have two ranked teams and one of them is a home dog, the money would usually go on the home dog. Usually. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance here and say that the Froggies win and cover at Kansas. So give me the Froggies. Tennessee and LSU. This is a weird thing here. I thought this game was in Knoxville. I'm sorry, Oklahoma, not Baylor. I don't know what I was thinking. That's right. Is this game in Knoxville or LSU? I thought it was in Knoxville. Anyway, nonetheless, no, it's in LSU. Yeah, all right, it's in LSU. All right. So give me the home dog on this one. Both of these teams are a little bit confusing to me. We know Tennessee can score. Defense not so good. I think that LSU got a little bit of a bad rap after that first week when they lost to Florida State. And since then, they've looked pretty good. Well, they haven't lost a game since then. Home field advantage, clearly, at the fake Death Valley in Baton Rouge. I will be streaming this game for the members, by the way. This is a 12 o'clock noon game in Louisiana. I'll be streaming it for the members only. So if you want to become a member and you're not, there's a link in the description of this video. You click that. It takes about 3 seconds to become a member. Anyway. Give me LSU as the home dog on in this one. I think Tennessee finally gets their first loss this week in Baton Rouge. All right, Texas and Oklahoma. Wow. Both unranked for the Red River Shootout. And yes, that's what it is. It's the Red River Shootout, not the Red River ass patting contest or whatever they call it these days. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to skip this one. Let's see if there's anything better. I have a lot of other choices. Auburn and Georgia. Between the hedges, between the Home Depot plants. 29.5. This has gone up, isn't it? Wasn't it like 26.5 originally? Jesus Christ. The Red River Rub and Tug. That's a good one. Oh, man. That's a lot of points, man. Is this an overreaction to the way that Georgia's offense has looked over the past couple weeks? Maybe so. Auburn's terrible. You know what? Give me Auburn in the point. That's a lot of points. Give me Auburn in the 29.5. I'll take it. It's just too many points. I mean, I can see Georgia winning by 21, 24, but 29.5 is just too much. All right, Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. Let's see, I've got 4 out of 8 so far. Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, 10.5 point favorite at home. Oklahoma State very well might be the best team in the Big 12. Well, so far they look like they are. I mean, I know you got Kansas and TCU also sitting there undefeated. But as far as the eye test goes, I think Oklahoma State passes that. Texas Tech is not terrible. I mean, they're going to lose this game. But the question is by how much? What do you guys think? Let me get some advice from the chat here. I see Christian says Texas Tech with the points. Okie Pokey wins by 10. Well, the spread's 10.5. So you're basically saying you take Texas Tech here. I'm going to get hooked by the hook. This is probably a bad decision, but whatever. I'm in the middle of the road in this contest. I need to start taking some chances here to get back in I want to be in the top 5 or so by the end of this thing to make myself happy. I'm with you. I wouldn't put a dime on it either, but this is a free pick'em league. This isn't for money, so give me Texas Tech with the hook. I got hooked by the half a point there. I'll admit it. Utah and UCLA. Look at this. Utah with 1 loss. Of course, that 1 loss being to Florida. UCLA quietly 5-0. UCLA has a dangerous rushing game. Dangerous. I don't know how many of you guys have watched their games. Well, I know how many people in LA have watched them. Almost none. Because their stadium's empty every week, which is really sad. Because they have a pretty good football team. I mean, it's in LA. Maybe they need to start giving out free bags of weed if you purchase a ticket. I bet they'll fill a stadium up then. Free dime bag of weed if you buy a ticket. Whee! I think UCLA wins this outright. A home dog, 4.5. Give me the Bruins. Put it on the money line, bro. Ohio State and Michigan State. Where am I at here? I got two more I can pick. Ohio State and Michigan State. Ohio State minus 25.5. Do you guys know this is the first game that Ohio State is playing this season outside of the state of Ohio? That's true. But you also know that Michigan State sucks. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. Still, I mean, 25.5 is a lot of points, but Ohio State typically does a pretty good job of covering the spread from week to week. So give me the Buckeyes. Clemson and Boston College. Minus 20.5, the red bandana game. This is going to be a love fest. Everybody's going to be hugging and singing Kumbaya together like they normally do every year. There's no bad blood or rivalry here, really. I mean, Boston College is not good. They're 2-3. They did have a win over Louisville last week. Poor Jerkovich. Guy's been running for his life every week. They got no offensive line at all. I mean, I think Clemson's going to win this by 28 or 30. This line does seem low to me. But just for more fun, because this is more fun, let's bet on, or not bet on, but I have one more pick left. Let's pick on the South Carolina-Kentucky game. That's a lot more fun for me. Kentucky, 10.5 point home favorite. I don't know why the Coots keep doing it themselves. They've been running around on the internet all week talking about they actually have a chance to beat Kentucky. I'm here to tell you, no, you don't. Kentucky took it down to the wire and really actually could have beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 1,000 times better football team than South Carolina is in every way. Offensively, defensively, special teams, coach, everything. Everything. This is a road game. This is going to be a look. Jackpot, if you're listening, I'm sorry. You're going to be breaking some shit this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. on the SEC network. Kentucky's going to win this by a lot. All right, so there's my picks. I've got Michigan at minus 21.5. I've got TCU at minus 6.5. I've got LSU at plus 2.5. I've got Auburn at plus 29.5. I've got Texas Tech at plus 10.5. I've got UCLA at plus 4.5. Ohio State at minus 25.5. And Kentucky minus 10.5. Let's do the tiebreaker here. The total score for Oregon and Arizona. Oh, God. Of course they'd pick that game. Well, Oregon's going to score 40. How many will Arizona score? 10? All right, so let's say 50. That'll be my answer. 50, submit tiebreaker. Your picks have been saved. It should just go ahead and say, Pete, congratulations on your big victory this week. You're going to be in first place. That's what it should say, but it didn't say that. That's okay. That's okay. Let's take a look at the news, shall we? Breaking news from the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel. I got to take this jacket off. Now I was complaining about how cold it was in here. Now I'm sweating. Give me a second. I got to take this off. All right. Where were we? Yeah, 30 minutes till SpaceX launch. Thank you. What I'll do is I'll probably I'll pull that video up maybe about 5 minutes before launch. And we can watch the countdown and whatnot. And of course, I'll have some people on StreamYard by then. Let's listen. I mean, I won't take long here with these news stories. I'll read a couple if there's anything interesting. I don't know. The number one news story is apparently we've been talking about this Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen deal here for the past few weeks on the Midday show. Apparently, they both hired divorce lawyers, so it looks like they're going to go their separate ways. I saw a funny meme yesterday. It said, Tom Brady sacrificed the 13-year marriage with a billionaire just so he could have the worst QBR in the NFC. I thought that was funny. "2,000-year-old statue of Hercules unearths in Greece." Archaeologists from Aristotle University, that's ironic, Aristotle University, discovered a statue of a Roman god Hercules that is in remarkably good shape considering it's nearly 2,000 years old. I like how they already know how old it is. I don't believe when people say how old things are anymore. They tell you that the Sphinx is only, 4,500 years old? But some people believe it's more like 15,000 years old. So, anyway. This is going to give you a history lesson on Zeus. We all know who he is. Pretty cool, though. I guess you would consider that to be priceless. I see everyone in the chat is still obsessed with Mrs. Pete's moderator status. You're falling on deaf ears. Uh-oh, here we go. Is this a chupacabra deal? Elusive creature disappeared for decades, but it was just caught in West Virginia park. Right. Bigfoot? What is it? What is that? That's a fucking rat, man. Don't try to... Look. An animal that hasn't been seen in decades was recently discovered in West Virginia National Park, and experts are thrilled. Wildlife biologists at Harper's Ferry Historical National Park captured and tagged multiple Allegheny wood rats. Yeah, it's a rat. The wood rats, which are mostly closely related to mice than rats, have been reported as locally extinct in certain areas of Appalachia. Appalachia or Appalachia? Appalachia? And their population has faced steep declines. That's why the rediscovery of the small furry creature was so exciting. There he is, right there. Look at him. He's so cute, but if I saw him at my house, I'd kill him. I would give him the Nick Saban rat poison. Fucking rat, bro. That's what all that is. No, thank you. Uh-oh, the world's deadliest mushroom is growing in Boise. So if you're one of these people that likes to go around picking mushrooms and you don't know what you're doing, you might want to pay attention to this. Death cap mushrooms can grow about 6 inches in diameter. Still, ingesting even half of that amount can be fatal to humans. So if you're going out there and you're looking for some magic mushrooms to have a good time with your boys, you might want to know what you're looking at here. Don't just be walking around eating mushrooms that you think, you got to know what you're doing. That's what I'm saying here. And don't smoke it either. What are you guys doing? The IDHW recommends calling Poison Control Center, and they give you the phone number here in the article. Let me write this down real quick. Should we call the Poison Control? Can I get in trouble for that? If I call the Poison Control Center and say I ate one of these mushrooms, will I get in trouble if I'm lying? Yeah, I'm not going to test that. Anyway, I don't want the fucking feds showing up at my door. Yeah. How about just get your mushrooms from a reputable dealer in Colorado? Sounds more safe. Looks like they found another sarcophagus in Egypt that they're going to open for no reason. They're going to open it and go, oh, look, there's a dead person inside. Let's take pictures of it. Let's just leave the dead alone, shall we? Here we go. I hope they stop this news cycle soon with Gisele Bündchen and Tom Brady. Where's the story? Well, I guess there is no story. It's one sentence. The New York Post reported that the NFL player and his supermodel wife are hiring divorce attorneys after a period of turmoil in their relationship. Yeah. Well, good luck, buddy. Look at the bright side. If you're Tom Brady, you don't have to pay any alimony because she has more money than him. So there is that. All right. I've had enough of the news. We've got 19 minutes and counting until the SpaceX launch. So let's see who's in the chat room, or in the StreamYard, rather. We've got one fake Slim Shady. We have one real Slim Shady. We have Volusia Orange. And we have the incomparable Ballin' with AC.
Well, what's up?
What's up?
Can you hear me clearly? I'm using hotel internet. Is it choppy or can you hear me?
No, you sound good.
Okay, cool.
I would like to point out that I'm currently driving the state of Delaware, so if we're currently running on my cellular data, but we're gonna give this a go.
Okay.
Delaware.
That tiny state. And I also would like to point out that the Ballin' with AC All Wussy team has been moved up till Wednesday, because I'm supposed to be going to the Rutgers, Nebraska game, and it's a Friday night game, so who knows if I'll be able to call on Friday when I normally do it.
You're going to the Rutgers, Nebraska game?
Yes.
Did you lose a bet?
I well,
didn't you say your mom was a Nebraska fan or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she is.
That's why.
But how's Texas A&M paying Jimbo Fisher a ransom working out for them?
Well, it's not working out.
What?
It's not working out. Next question.
It's going quite poorly, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. I saw Josh Pate. He held up a milk jug, and it has Jimbo Fisher's offense on it, and it says expired in 2014. I think it's about right.
But who thinks I need to laugh at the Oklahoma man for them saying they were going to have a top tier defense, which we all knew wasn't possible because Lincoln Riley he kind of recruited the one-star defender, to be honest with you.
Right. I mean, I think that they can be good on defense in a year or two. I mean, Venables is not gonna settle for this crap. But then again, the question is, does their offense still recruit the way that it did under Riley? So where are they going to end up as a program?
Yeah,
Where does that sort of even out?
That's a good point. Yeah. I don't really think that anybody thought that Oklahoma was going to have like Clemson defense just because Venables went there this year. But I mean, they're still pretty bad. Even for the players that he has, they're still bad. I mean, because they're even worse than Lincoln Riley's defense with the same players, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if you watched that game. I watched the first half of it. It was just wild. You had the TCU's quarterback doing the Trevor Lawrence, running 70 yards untouched.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be bad, like you said, for at least a year or two. They'll be
7-5. They'll be 7-5 this year.
Yeah, they'll be able to recruit. Well, we know Venables will be able to recruit defense well, and they'll get some guys in there that can make a difference, but not right now.
Can or will Kansas beat them?
Yeah, they can. They certainly can. They might.
Kansas can move the ball now.
Yeah. I bet you right now Kansas would be favored against them.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
It would be close.
Look, I still think Kansas is going to hit the wall, and I think it's going to be this weekend. But I do think that they're good. I mean, they're a good team. Like, I don't think they're going to be getting blown out by 30 and 40 and 50 like they used to. I think they're going to lose a few games by one score. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to run through Oklahoma State and Baylor and TCU, et cetera, but they can win a bunch of games.
We'll learn what Kansas is made of this week.
Yeah, in the next couple, yeah.
I mean, TCU is by far the best team they've played all year, and we'll see if they can hang with them. Then they might be pretty good.
Let's see.
We'll see.
So yeah, man, I'm at my hotel in Ordos, Inner Mongolia.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're on vacation right now.
Yeah, man. I don't know how the hotel internet would hold up, but it seems to be okay.
So, are you having a good time so far?
Yeah, it's cool. It's like so Mongolia is like half of it is a country, and then the other half is like in China, right? So I'm in the Chinese side, but it's like grassland steppe. We were riding horses and doing stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. Little city up here. A lot of lamb and stuff like that. Really good. It's good stuff.
Cool. Are you staying in the? What'd you say that thing was? It was some kind of special tent.
Yeah, so it's called a yurt. We didn't end up doing that because it's too cold and we couldn't find a good one. So we ended up scratching that plan, at least for now. We'll see what happens the next few days. But
okay.
Oh, well.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Nate? How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you? And Pete, I'm sorry about last week.
What do you mean?
Or not last week. Yeah, last week. I complained a little bit.
Oh, yeah, whatever, man. It happens. I don't hold grudges, Nate. It's all good.
Okay.
I wasn't mad at you. I was just annoyed. You know what I mean? I get annoyed easy.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting annoyed too, but whatever, it's in the past. But on was it Monday? Yeah, on Monday, you guys were talking about Michigan and stuff. I wanted to resume on that talk. I think they're on the right path. Maybe they're looking like a one-loss team, but I'm just gonna let the game speak for itself. But right now, I think so. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? If does Michigan look like a one-loss team so far? I know don't have a loss, but I mean, like overall.
Michigan is good but boring. The Lions are bad but super fun.
Well, at least Lions held with Seahawks. So.
Well, yeah, but you let Geno Smith ring up 48 on you, so that's not a good look. But they're super fun.
Who the hell cares about Geno Smith?
Let's. I don't want to get
this. The Seahawks quarterback who ran all over the Lions' ass.
So
Well,
I know a lot of people don't care about the NFL talk, but I gotta mention this. Have you seen what the Giants are doing now
No.
at quarterback? They're looking to get somebody off the couch, basically. They've got Daniel Jones got hurt, and who's the backup that came in after him and got hurt?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor. So now they basically have no quarterback. So they're talking about. I've heard these names thrown around: Cam Newton.
Oh, Jesus.
Jake Fromm.
What?
Yeah. Those are the main two I've heard. I mean, they're basically desperate at this point. I don't know how long Jones is supposed to be out for, but they're looking for some sort of Band-Aid until one of those guys, either Taylor or Jones, can come back.
They could have Stetson Bennett. I forgot he's in college.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant Jake Fromm.
That's problematic. I don't even know who's on practice squad / waiver wire situation right now, but the two names you just said are not the answer.
No.
They're like, they're not very good. Are they like average Joes, but nowhere?
Got to think. I mean, it depends on how long Jones is out
SpaceX
for. It's a
headquarters.
good amount of time they got to trade for a backup, like a Case Keenum or
That's
something
true.
like that.
So yeah, did you hear that? I mean, this will shock y'all, but did you hear that the athletic director of Nebraska is gonna change the mascot? Well, not mascot, like
What?
mildly change the mascot of Herbie the Husker.
Why?
I don't know.
Nate, where are you at?
I'm gonna have to rehab the hospital.
Oh, it's just loud behind you. There's all kinds of shit going on. The people talking and laughing, and it's distracting.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, what will they change? Why are they changing that? Herbie Husker seems relatively inoffensive, although you never know, right?
I do
Right.
not know, but it's stupid.
Everything is offensive.
Yeah.
So we can find something to be offended by. Slim, you and I agree on this. People are too easily offended.
Oh yeah. So here's a look at the T minus 9 minutes and 34 seconds.
Sweet. Yeah, so
Before.
they're going to the space station. So it's two NASA astronauts, a Japanese astronaut, and then a Russian cosmonaut as well.
Uh-huh.
They're sort of going to. I don't know exactly what they're going to do at the ISS, but I know they're sort of re-staffing it, et cetera, maybe fixing stuff. You know, like pretty standard mission as far as I understand it.
Yeah. So I checked in about 2 hours ago, and they've been sitting in the same position for the past 2 hours waiting. It's been a long wait for these guys. They've been sitting there strapped in like this since about 9:30 this morning.
They're probably sweating.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
But the name of this thing is cool. It's called the Dragon Capsule. That's the capsule they're in.
Cool.
Yeah.
So at least it's got a cool name.
Leave it up to Elon to make up some pretentious bullshit nickname for his.
Yeah.
Still looks like a dick, and they all do.
Yep. I don't know. I'm assuming this is in
looks
Florida, right?
It looks like my
Yeah, they're in Florida. They're at Cape Canaveral.
Right.
Kennedy. Yeah. So where I grew up, which is about 40 minutes north of there, we could sometimes, maybe often, see them go up. Like when they would launch the rockets, we could see it go until it kind of left the atmosphere, which is pretty cool.
Mr. Troll, yes, you can ask a question if you want to. The question is, will I answer it? Oh, yeah, I'm not looking in the private chat. I mean, you could you probably type the N-word 1,000 times. I'm not interested in looking at that. So no, you can't ask a question.
He can't.
Never ask if you can ask a question. That's.
Oh, by the way, I got a haircut.
You got a haircut.
Well, that's pretty dope, but
Yeah, I did too, Nate. I got a haircut yesterday.
nice.
Yeah, and the lady basically cut all my hair off. I wasn't very pleased. Yeah.
So like a military shaved.
No. She didn't go not that short. But my hair's been pretty long for the past couple of years. I've kept it pretty long, and she cut it short. So whatever, it'll grow back. I'm not worried about it. It's not a bad haircut.
Get a man bun. Join the club.
Get a man bun.
Yep.
The only person with longer hair that
Speaking of pretentious,
have you seen?
I have a man bun. The reason I have a man bun is to cover up the increasingly growing bald spot in the back. So it's a functional man bun that I have.
Sea Dog has, I don't know how long his hair is exactly. It's got to be down at least to the middle of his back. He hasn't cut it in, I think, 2 years, he said. All right, see you later, Bet. All right, we got 6 minutes. I got to go pee. I'll be right back.
All right. Ain't no man bun for you, Slim?
negative. I don't consume enough soy products to have a man bun.
Boy. Oh boy.
Well, I don't have the bald spot to try and cover up either.
Lucky.
I mean, I get it if you're trying to use it for something. I get that, but
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a guy with long hair. I used to have, this won't shock you, I used to have dreadlocks that were about 3 feet long, and then in a previous life, and then so I've always just had been a long hair kind of guy, and so I'm kind of holding on to it as long as I can, and then when the day comes, it'll have to go. I got about 5 more years or so.
God. We go from the soy boy bun to cultural appropriation. Jesus.
No, this was before cultural appropriation. This is a good, 10, 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cultural.
I mean, I had long hair in high school.
Go ahead.
I was just saying I had long hair in high school.
Yeah. No, I had the dreads when I was at Clemson, and then for a few years after that. But then I had I got a corporate job, so that was a no-go.
Yeah.
It was fun while it lasted.
Hey,
Which people talk about how terrible that is too. That you should be able to have whatever hairstyle you want at whatever job.
Well, I agree with that in principle, but at the same time, it's just not feasible, right? I mean, on some level, I got a sales job working for a New York City real estate firm selling investments out here in Shanghai. Like, you're not going to be working for New York, real estate brokers selling condos to Shanghainese invest. Like, it's not with 3-foot dread. That's not come on. It's just.
Well, I agree with you. They're just jobs that don't allow it.
Right.
It's
like,
not
I think if you're, I don't know, a mailman, maybe that's but why not? Right. But there are some jobs where it just doesn't work. Right.
So before we get to this, I haven't had a chance to talk to you, Volusia, yet about the game last weekend.
Right.
NC State game.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, very.
I did join your stream for it.
That's right. Yeah, you were in there.
But yeah, I mean, we really just dominated them. The first half was touch and go, but we really turned it on. I think DJ's doing. I'm going to have the same takes that most Clemson fans are.
Right.
I'm less trepidation, less tepidness in my optimism. Like, I feel really good. I think that we, at this point, should be favored to win every game on our schedule. I don't know if we will, but if we can stay relatively injury-free, and we aren't injury-free right now, and we still dominate it. So I feel really good. And, let's take it week by week. I'm not going to sit here and call us a playoff team yet. And I think if we were in if the playoffs started today, we would probably get smashed by Ohio State or Alabama or whomever. But at the same time, that might not be the case when the time comes. So I think I feel good.
I agree with you with everything you said there. I mean, I think they're clearly in the driver's seat in the ACC, but there's still a lot of football left to be played. And a couple of road games that could be tricky, right? Florida State game on the road could be tricky. Notre Dame on the road could be tricky.
Yep.
So
I think I was really encouraged by the how much better Nate Wiggins played. I mean, he was horrible last week and was very good, pretty good this week. I think we do need to get guys like Jones back and make sure Makuba's healthy, because we're not going to be able to rely on the young kids week in and week out. But it's good to get them sort of throw them into the fire, not because we wanted to, it's out of necessity. But you see the improvement just over a 1 week period. I think that's good.
How is Brian Brzee doing? Well, so he's not playing this week. I don't know what the deal is. I know he had a kidney infection or kidney stones or something along those lines. I don't know, but he's not. I don't even know if he's traveling with the team. Is he? He's definitely not playing. And it really sucks. The poor guy can't catch a break.
Really, if you think about it, like the idea that this is his last year at Clemson, we just haven't seen him much. If he leaves, and he presumably will, maybe he'll make the XT type decision to come back, especially if he misses a bunch of games this year. He was a first round lock, but if he misses 5-6 games this year, maybe he won't be. Maybe he'll elect to come back for another season.
Yeah, I selfishly hope he does come back, because we're going to need a veteran leader on that defensive line next season.
Absolutely, because we're going to lose.
We're going to lose
everyone.
Pretty much everybody that's starting. Yeah.
I think Rook is coming back, right?
Well, I don't know yet, but he probably will.
Yeah.
He's eligible though. Yeah. Well, still, I'd like to see him come back, but I don't know. I mean, the guy can't catch a break. He was injured for almost an entire season, or for an entire season. Then the whole thing with his little sister dying, and then now this. It's like, man. All right, here we go, guys. We're down to about 35 seconds till liftoff here. Put this on full screen. I'm going to go ahead and put the volume on, too, so we can hear it.
Crew reports go. 30 seconds until liftoff.
Let's go.
He didn't recruit a bunch of Georgia Tech grads to build this thing, did they?
I hope not. 15 seconds and counting.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year.
And we have liftoff, folks. Look at that. God damn. The giant space penis. Look at it.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
It's my hammer.
Is nominal.
He's penetrating the stratosphere.
We're now at T plus 35 seconds into the 5th rotational crew mission on board Dragon and Falcon 9.
Man, that would be so cool to be on that thing, man.
Coming up in just a few seconds, we'll hear the call out for stage 1 throttle down.
Stage 1 throttle down.
Falcon 9 engines throttling down to help pass through the period of maximum dynamic pressure.
This period is known as max Q, and once the vehicle...
They are currently at Mach 1.
Like they have the commentator and then the color person as well.
Yeah, it's like a sporting event.
Stage 1 throttle up.
Stage 1 Bravo.
Copy 1 Bravo.
That call out for 1 Bravo means we're in the second and final abort mode for the first stage, continuing to get good performance. The crew is already pulling over 2 Gs. And next up is going to be a couple of events in rapid succession. First will be engine chill on the second stage and back engine. And there you heard that call out. And then we'll have MECO, or main engine cutoff, where the 9 engines igniting will cut off in preparation for second stage separation.
Yes, Jamie, this is live right now.
Then We'll see the single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage ignite and continue to carry the Crew 5 astronauts to orbit.
Just like we did on first stage, that MVAC chill is intended to help pre-chill the hardware prior to the full flow of that densified liquid oxygen.
Stage 1 throttle down.
At this point in time, those 9 Merlin engines are beginning to throttle down in preparation for MECO, or main engine cutoff.
Standing by for MECO.
I wonder if they're going to show.
Stage 2 Alpha.
All right, so here they go.
Confirmed. Copy 2 Alpha.
They just.
We should see that second engine begin to ignite now. And obviously confirmed by the loud.
Look at that. Look at that picture on the right. Or both of them, actually. So this is the flat earther's nightmare right here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We literally just saw it on camera.
Yeah, you can see it right. You can actually see the Earth, the curve.
We're now getting a view of
Yeah,
the
right.
first stage. After
All right, guys, I gotta go. But,
All right, see you later. See you later, Nate.
By that single Merlin vacuum engine, and that's on the right-hand side of your screen. First stage on the left-hand side of your screen, making its way back to Earth. We will be attempting to land it on our drone ship, which today we are using Just Read the Instructions.
Acquisition signal. Repeat up.
I wonder if there are any flat earthers live streaming this.
There's got to be.
And we did hear that acquisition of the
I'd love
ground
to hear
station
it.
in Bermuda. The first
So
stage
the
is
next time this
continuing to
happens,
make
I don't
its
know
way
when the
back
next
to
launch
Earth.
is, but I think that for the next one we need to tune into a flat earthers live
Yeah.
stream.
Well, I definitely wanted to watch this one because this one was actually a manned mission.
Right.
I mean, SpaceX launches rockets all the time, but they don't usually have people on them.
The first stage on the left-hand side of your screen.
I'm disappointed it's not an all-electric rocket.
How long does it take to get to the space station?
Good question.
I would imagine.
A couple hours, probably tops.
I don't even know if it takes that long.
Over 8 minutes into the flight, really doing the heavy lifting now, getting the crew into orbit.
I mean, they're already, have the altitude of the space station. I guess they just have to chase the thing down.
15 hours and 45 minutes.
15 hours?
First stage will be
Yep.
making
What?
a landing on
But it
one
says-
of our drone ships, which
Seems like a waste of time.
Yeah. Couldn't they just launch it when the space station was overhead and make it a shorter trip?
No, because they got to shoot the rocket through the hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah.
I
That's the only
think
way
they
to get
probably
space.
thought of that, Pete. Yeah, I think they might have thought of that.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, I know conditions have to be just right, so that's why they do have the designated time.
Right. Right. Yeah. Everything's got to be
Crew is
perfect.
pulling a little more than 1 G right now. That's going to
Anyway,
continue to
well,
ramp
it was
up.
a success. Well, I mean, so far, I guess I have another 14 hours or so of flying before they get where they're going, but
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for shit to go bad.
yeah. But there you have
Well, I
it.
mean, this isn't nearly as delicate a mission as the Webb telescope was. So.
Well, the only difference is there's actually people on this one.
Right.
So
I mean, at least Elon Musk isn't doing what the Russians did. They shot a dog into space and had no intentions of him coming back.
True.
Like poor little beagle.
yeah, I mean, he died a valiant death. That dog.
Yeah, well, couldn't they have used a bug or something? At least that's an ugly dog.
Oh, they used a beagle.
Yeah.
True, man. Yeah. Or a fucking chihuahua or something like that, right?
Yeah, Rick is right. It's a 15-hour flight to the space station, but if Raj was flying this rocket, it would only be 15 minutes. About 15 minutes.
Yeah.
How long does it take to get to the space station? Well, I don't know, about 15 minutes or so.
Well, that should be all it takes.
Yeah.
I mean, if they got enough thrust to make it into space, they should be able to catch the space station pretty damn quick.
Well, I did promise that since it's been a couple of months, let's check in with our favorite big-breasted flat earther and see what she's got going on. Oh, stop! Let's see if she's got anything good here lately. Why not? It's been a couple of months.
And maybe she finally figured out a new way to entice people to her streams.
I hope she's doing okay. Worry about
Or
it.
rediscovered a way of enticing people to her
I was going to say, I don't know if she's got a whole lot of ingenuity, right?
I do notice something.
She's got to rediscover the secret, that's all.
She's obsessed with Halloween. She has like an infatuation with Halloween, which is
to rediscover the secret, all she's got to do is take one peek downward. I mean, it's not too far away from her face.
Well, there's a lot of people. The answer to a lot of questions can be right in front of their face, and they'll never find it.
True.
She's been putting out a lot of stuff. I just haven't been on TikTok in a while. She's active as ever.
Yep. Black bra there. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, the only downside to her is that little stinger that you made of her. I really can't tell if that's her or Jackpot when you play it. I mean, it sounds so close.
People are like, oh, dude, you fucking roasted her, you roasted.
All right. Well, this one looks pretty new. Let's see what she has to say. This looks like it's flat Earth related.
Today we're going to talk about the differences between the globe heliocentric model and the flat Earth model. They are two completely separate models. Don't get them confused with each other. This is not the flat Earth model. This is a representation of the flat Earth model created by heliocentrics to confuse you and make it into a joke, because this is not the actual model, and I'll show you what it really is. So on that last example, you could see how the heliocentric model, the globe model, and the firmament flat Earth model are.
So I'd like to point out, she's in her car doing this, but she has some sort of filter in the back where you can see the graphics. But every once in a while, the filter goes out like a green screen type deal, and you can see her car seat. So she's doing this from inside of her car. Not that that's important. It's just funny.
Are intertwined with each other, and there's both beliefs in the same system. That is not correct. They're two separate. So here is the flat Earth model. There's a firmament. The stars, the moon, and the sun are all inside of the firmament. Outside of the firmament is waters from above and below. So on this flat Earth model, everything that we know is inside of the firmament. The sun, the moon, the stars are all inside the firmament. And the planets on the flat Earth model are very different than they are on the heliocentric model. On the flat Earth model, the planets are luminaries, they're wandering stars, they're sources of light. They are not landable surfaces like Earth is. On the flat Earth model, Earth is the only realm. It's the only planet-like realm that there is to exist. So on the globe model, space is outside of the globe. On the flat Earth model, space is inside of the firmament. Going to the globe model now, all of this is completely different than the flat Earth model. This is heliocentrism, where the sun is in the center, it's the biggest, and all of the other planets revolve around the sun. This is heliocentrism. This is a flat Earth model, completely different. On the heliocentric globe model, they say that the sun...
Let me ask you guys a serious question.
Yeah.
Would you listen to this all day, every day, just to get in their pants?
No.
What about you, Slim?
I can ignore a lot.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, when you say all day, every day, do you mean like would I date this woman and like put up with it? I mean,
all right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
how long
I have a feeling that if you're her boyfriend, you have to listen to this shit all the time. I'll re-ask the question. Would you listen to this for like a couple of hours for one night to get in her pants? One time?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, too, because if this was 500-600 years ago, she would have a guaranteed job with the Vatican.
How long is this shit?
Sun is 93 million miles away from Earth. Everything revolves around the sun, and it's way larger than every other planet, including Earth. On the flat Earth model, the sun and the moon are local. They're both their own sources of light. The moon is a lesser light than the sun, and they illuminate as a spotlight on a certain area in a fixed position, and they move around as like a spotlight in order to illuminate a certain area at a certain time. And we all know that on the globe model, the moon is a rock that the sun is shining on to illuminate it. So it's not its own light on the globe model. One of the biggest differences on the globe versus the flat Earth is water. So on the globe, you could see that water is 360 around it, sticking to a ball that's spinning. There's no container holding the water, and gravity holds it in. On the flat Earth model, our Earth's surface is extremely vast and it does not curve. It's stationary, flat, and water is always flat and level on the flat Earth model. But water still is level and flat on this model, don't forget. The globe model spins and moves and all these motions are happening. Flat Earth is stationary, completely not moving, and the star.
Oh my God.
So case in point, Pete, we just listened to, a full minute or more of that dribble to see about 2 inches of cleavage on video. So,
Yeah.
2 hours, sure.
We can clean that up right now with this. There you go.
Morning,
there you go.
The Earth says hello. Good morning, Starshine.
Oh, Jesus.
The Earth says hello.
When you finna let me hold some. Do you love me, baby?
This chick is a party, man. I like how she mixes the flat Earth with the bikini videos. She's cornered the market, I think.
It is a niche, yeah. She's found a little alley in there somewhere.
All right. Well, she does like showing off those globes, though, doesn't she?
She does,
God bless her for it.
God bless you. On the flat Earth and the round Earth, I don't really give a shit which one you like. Oh, here, look, now we got a view on the inside of the cockpit of the Dragon capsule. This is pretty cool looking.
it?
Look at that. Uh-oh. Look, they have a globe here on the touchscreen. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should put a flat Earth on there one time just to troll people.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
They have some little.
And let it be like a cart, like a hand drawn, like one of their 8-year-old kids draws it by hand, like on MS Paint or something.
Now, are they going on? Do these flat earthers go full on medieval times and think heaven is above the flat Earth and hell is below?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them will say that that the stars in any celestial body is like there's a black shell around the flat Earth, and the stars are holes that let in heavenly light or some shit like that.
Oh, I thought they were just going to say that Zeus put them up there.
Right. Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, it could be anything. You can just Mad Lib it, dude. Just pick something and then
Space would be crazy, bro. Yes, it would. Oh, yeah. Mrs. Pete makes a good point. She said, we watched that new Moonfall movie on Netflix. It's not on Netflix. It's on HBO Max. Right. Have you heard of it? Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, you need to watch it.
I noticed it on there. I haven't watched it yet, but I noticed it on there the other day.
So, look, it's... I mean, there's parts of it that are a little bit cheesy. Halle Berry's in it. She's like the main character. Halle Berry and I don't know who the guy is. And then
let her out of whatever nut house she was in.
She's 60 years old. She's still smoking hot. Let me see if I can find.
That's a fact. What's the name of the movie again?
It's called Moonfall.
Nobody's debating that, but I mean, I'm just saying they let her out of the nut house. I thought her and Mariah Carey were locked up together.
Yeah, I don't know if she's nutty or not, but she's hot. Moonfall is what it's called. It's a sci-fi deal, right? It's sort of like a mixture between Armageddon and Contact, and I don't know. It's like, anyway, the premise of the story is that the moon comes out of orbit and it's headed towards Earth, and it's going to be a doomsday scenario that the moon's going to collide with the Earth, right? But it goes a lot deeper than that. It's a science fiction deal. It goes into artificial intelligence, AI, aliens, all that kind of shit. But the last hour or so, it's also an action movie. The last hour is pretty badass if you like action, sci-fi type stuff.
Yeah, I watched Armageddon for the first time in a long time this past weekend.
I mean, the acting is not like Oscar level or anything, but the special effects and actually the story, if you're into sci-fi and AI type stuff, is pretty good. So that's all I'll say about it. But it's pretty long too. It's like 2.5 hours. But yeah, I'll watch it again because I like that kind of shit. Let's see if I can find the. It's called Moonfall. Moonfall trailer. It looks like they have the full movie on YouTube, according to this, which is surprising. Here it is. Moonfall official trailer. So it's Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson's the guy's name. And then the secondary sort of like cast is the guy from Game of Thrones, the original Game of Thrones, the fat guy, John Bradley. Anyway, here you go.
A huge problem is heading our way. An emergency meeting is being called at our usual place immediately. 3 bagels.
I've made a shocking discovery. I need you to get me in touch with NASA immediately.
Well, NASA and I aren't really on speaking terms these days.
Well, that'll change. When you tell them that the moon is out of orbit.
The special effects in this movie are top notch.
Oh, yeah.
Why are they lying about all this?
It's too late to stop.
You knew all this was happening before NASA.
You're the unidentified source?
Oh, yes.
We're dealing with an intelligent entity. We're planning a mission to attack this thing. I'm asking you for your help. I need you to be brave.
If the moon really is what you think it is, suit up.
You have got a big gravity wave coming your way. You have to launch now.
Did you say gravity wave?
We're underwater, guys.
That's crazy.
What's the plan?
Save the moon, save Earth.
Ray, what are you doing?
It's flying itself.
Wait for it. Let's go, you son of a...
Yes! Hang on! Everybody, hang on!
We're gonna get you home!
On airplane mode.
Oh shit! There you have it. Yeah, like I said, it's like a blockbuster type.
More action, more suspense.
Yeah.
Halle Berry, buckle up this summer.
I mean, I may watch it. I'm automatically pessimistic about pretty much any movie that comes out these days.
You know what, man? I agree with you, Slim.
I don't think there's anything near resembling an original thought anywhere near Hollywood.
Totally agree. Just all rehashed bullshit, dude. Rehashed, remade bullshit with casting different characters of different races or sexual orientations of the same idea. And
So
blah, blah,
I will
blah,
tell you, I thought that about this movie originally, and for probably the first half of the movie, that's really what it is. But when you get to the end of it, there is something original about this movie. I don't want to spoil it. But it's still. I mean, it's a big blockbuster the same way that Armageddon was. So you're going to get that sort of feel out of it. You know, the cheesy, comedy bits that they do in there, and then the at times less than stellar acting, and the big time special effects, all that kind of thing. But I actually like the way that it ended. The last hour is definitely good.
I will say I do really, really hate when they try to put like cheesy, silly comedy jokes into what is supposed to be action suspense thrillers. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's stupid.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing, Slim, and I guess my thing is, and you might agree, and I don't want to go off on a tangent about it, but I think it's fine if they want to it's cool to make new action movies, superhero movies, whatever, if they want to use a character of a different ethnicity or a gay character or whatever. But I'm not a huge fan of taking stuff that already exists and redoing it by like just patronizing everybody. And you know what I'm saying?
All right, perfect example. Just the way they completely obliterated Star Wars, and I get Kathleen Kennedy had her own agenda with it, and she's, she wanted to push women's rights and all that. Fine. There are women-led stories in Star Wars that fans wanted to see.
Yeah.
Do it there.
I agree.
And if it's not that kind of crap, it's like, J.J. Abrams and Taika Waititi, 12-year-olds off the Ritalin. I mean, dude, he kind of got away with it in that first Thor movie that he did. But this last one that come out, fucking garbage.
I don't really watch any Hollywood movies anymore. I might even be more jaded than you.
Well, I was a comic book fan as a kid, and still am to a certain extent.
Right.
I agree, Rick. There's a lot of good independent films out there. You have to search for them.
Yeah, you really do.
But there are a bunch of good ones out there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like Taika Waititi, I mentioned him. He did great when it was independent stuff, but like he just said, trying to put silly slapstick stuff into, what tends to be more of a serious story. Okay, you can get away with a joke or two to lighten the mood at some points, but it gets a little troublesome.
It just depends on what you're looking for. Like, if you want to sit down and actually have like a mind-bending experience, something that challenges, your thought, you're not going to watch Moonfall, okay? But there's nothing wrong with sitting down for 2 or 3 hours and just being entertained by special effects and crazy shit.
Well, there was nothing groundbreaking about the story of the original Star Wars, but it was done in a very good way.
Yeah.
And they completely trashed it. I mean, say what you want about the prequels, that was still the same man telling his story how he wanted to do it. But these last three, it's like y'all are just completely devoid of any direction to take it.
I mean, if you want something mind-bending and thought-challenging, just watch North Carolina's defense. That's mind-bending.
Or Iowa's offense.
Or Iowa's offense.
Yeah, right.
The second best odds to win the ACC.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up a little bit there. What'd you say?
I said Miami still the second best odds to win the ACC.
Did you understand him, Slim?
I think he said something about Miami having close to the best odds to win the ACC.
Oh, to win
the second best odds to win the ACC.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's an interesting game this weekend. I'm really looking forward to seeing Miami and North Carolina play.
Yeah.
Well, you said it comes on at 4:00. That must be, what is it? What channel is that on? Is it ACC Network game?
No, I haven't even bothered to look it up yet.
It might be. Well,
I was going to do it, Friday or Saturday morning.
I'll tell you right now. But the coastal division of the ACC is a hot mess, son.
It's tired, man.
Let's see here. Yeah, all of a sudden you're starting to break. Your audio's starting to break up a little bit. I can't really understand you. You was for the majority of the time he was clear as a bell. Sounded really good.
It may be one of those StreamYard things where you just got to hop out and hop back in.
Yeah, you could try that. So it looks like it's on ESPN2 at 4 p.m. There you go.
How's that? Is that any better?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Yeah, ESPN2.
Yeah, ESPN2 at 4:00. I'll be watching that because I'll be streaming the Tennessee and LSU game, and then of course I'll be streaming the Clemson game at night. So that's sort of the sweet spot between that. So I'll be watching that.
Yeah, I was saying that Miami and Vegas has the second best odds to win the conference still.
Yeah. Well, they haven't played a conference game yet, so we'll see.
No, it's like I said last night on the ACC show. Despite how they've looked so far this year, all of what should have been their goals for the season are still ahead of them.
And I'll tell you what, you can give a big thank you to Georgia Tech for taking care of Pitt. That really helped Miami's case. That was a conference game, and Pitt, I think, was probably the favorite. Maybe before, I don't really know, but I'm sure Pitt was probably the favorite to win the Coastal before last week. They're not now.
Oh, sure.
I mean, media days, they had Miami picked to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
that Pitt was probably going to win it.
Right, after the Middle Tennessee game, and I think that Pitt was definitely the favorite prior to their egg last week.
Possibly. I mean, I don't keep up week to week on where the odds are on who's going to. Because, like I said, I don't even think Miami's goal should have been to win the conference this year. I don't think that was necessarily realistic. Making the conference championship game was absolutely realistic.
Right, win 10 games, perhaps go to a challenge for a New Year's Six Bowl, this kind of thing.
I honestly, Slim, I think that if you look at the Coastal, there's 3 or 4 teams that could make a case for it being a realistic expectation for them to win the Coastal coming into the season.
Duke one of them? Is Duke one of them?
No. I'm talking about, well, now maybe. I'm talking about coming into the season. So maybe right now, if you're a Duke fan, maybe you're thinking there is a possibility, which I don't really think there is a possibility, but maybe you're thinking that there's an outside chance you could. But before the season started, I thought Duke was a 3-win team.
Yeah.
And now they're what? They're 4-0. So
4-1.
4-1. Sorry.
Kansas.
That's right.
And put up a good fight in that game as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our game is 7:30 again, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. And
I should be able to join you for that. I'll still be up here in Mongolia, but I should be able to join you for that. I think. Yeah, I'll be on.
Yeah, 7:30. And I'm assuming the game might be, if the game's like out of hand in the third quarter, if Clemson's up by 4 touchdowns, I may switch over to the South Carolina Kentucky game.
Sure.
Well, that might be a blowout too, for all I know. I don't know.
Now, would it be more fun to watch the fourth quarter of a game where Clemson's up by 4 touchdowns, or the fourth quarter game where they're down by 4 touchdowns?
Well, I don't know. Equally as pleasing, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Well, the only thing about the Clemson, if Clemson's up by that much, then most likely you're going to see Cade Klubnik in there, and I would like to see what he looks like, just for reference,
Yes, and our younger receivers and defensive backs, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't think the people on YouTube necessarily care about that, but I do.
Right.
But as far as the entertainment value, watching Jackpot melt down if they're losing by 4 touchdowns to Kentucky, that's worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, his stream of our game last year was one of the best I've seen.
Yeah.
Because the last play where they got inside the 10 and didn't score and got shut up, man. Throwing pizza boxes and shit. Coors Light, Miller Lite. He drinks Miller Lite or Coors Light? I forget. Whatever.
Miller Lite, yeah.
Yeah, Miller Lite.
Miller Lite, pizza, and that's pretty much it. Miller Lite and pizza.
I mean, pizza's good. Miller Lite is disgusting, but pizza's good.
And just watching that beet red color start bleeding down from the top of his head all the way to his, well, I would say neck, but I'm sure there's one there somewhere.
He's golden. Anyway, there's a bunch of good games on this weekend. I'm interested in the game day game, the Kansas and TCU. I think should be a good one. That was one of the ones I put on my poll, but I guess nobody wanted to see that one.
I voted for that one.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it didn't do much good.
Yeah. I run a weekly pick'em sheet over here with about, 25 people or something. And I always put 12 games on a week, and I will avoid any game where the spread's over 20, try to split it up evenly between the Power 5 conferences and whatnot. But I couldn't narrow it down to 12 this week. I had to expand it to 15 because there are just a lot of really good games this week with spreads of 2 touchdowns or less, with some ranked teams on the road, all different stuff. So I think we're in for a good one.
And unfortunately, Pete's not going to make it to the top of his pick'em because he didn't pick Kansas to win like a dummy.
No, I think TCU wins. and covers.
Well, I think you're a dummy too. I
We'll
think
see.
Kansas is going to absolutely smack them around
What? Based on what?
because I said so.
Oh. Now look, they'll be fired up, man. It's game day there for the first time ever. The fans will definitely be showing up, and the players will be fired up. But at the end of the day, TCU is just a better football team, I think.
Yeah.
I think people are reading too much into last week and thinking and overreacting.
Oh, all right.
I'm not saying TCU's bad. Don't get me wrong.
And
I think it's a bit of an overreaction from last week.
I mean, the spread is not that big considering, all things considered. So, I mean, TCU doesn't even have to really win by that much. What was it? 6? What was it again? 6.5 or something? Find out. Yeah, Kansas was favored by 6.5. Yeah. No, TCU was favored by 6.5 at Kansas.
No, I really thought Kansas would beat them. The only game I really picked for my own amusement was NC State to top Florida State. That was really about it.
Now, look,
I like that.
if Kansas won this game, that would be funny and great. I actually hope Kansas does win the game. I don't give a shit who wins the game. I mean, that would be a great story. I just don't think they're going to.
Would you be surprised if Kansas won?
No, well, nothing in the Big 12 surprises me, son. I mean, nothing. And nothing in the ACC Coastal surprises me either. Nothing in the Pac-12 surprises me. I mean, there's a lot of... Nothing in the Big 10 West surprises me. I mean, the only thing that would really surprise me at this point is if somebody like Alabama or Ohio State or somebody got blown out by somebody. That's really about it.
Well, I mean, honestly, Ohio State, that wouldn't even surprise me because they won, 3 or 4 years in a row? They got blown out by, 1 year it was Purdue. I mean, Ohio State kind of had that habit going for a few years.
Yeah. Well, there's not a team so far this year that I've seen that doesn't have some sort of deficiency that's been exposed. And, after the first 3 weeks, we thought that Georgia looked like the most complete, solid team. But then the past couple of weeks, they've struggled. So, I mean, even they're human, obviously.
I don't think Georgia's in any danger at all of losing to Auburn. But
I don't either.
I wouldn't bet 2 cents on them covering the spread.
Well, I didn't. I picked Auburn. 29.5 is a lot. Yeah. And this is a rivalry. It's not like just some game. They play each other every year.
And then the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. So.
Well, and I mean, Georgia not covering the spread. I mean, they're kind of the opposite of Ohio State. Ohio State, week in and week out, has always been pretty good at covering the spread. Georgia under Kirby Smart's been the opposite.
That's a good point. The Texas and Oklahoma game, how much does Bijan Robinson get the ball? How many touches does he get? He might rush for 250. If I'm Steve Sarkisian, I'm just giving him the ball. I'm giving him the ball 30 times. That's the game plan.
I didn't know this till somebody pointed it out. This is the first time that this game's played. They're both unranked since '98.
Yeah. Sad.
That was like Miami and Florida State a few years ago. First time they had played, it was 3 or 4 years ago now. It was the first time they had played, and they've both been unranked in 15, 20 years.
Rick, I see what you're saying. He said it used to be a rivalry. So, I mean, essentially what Rick is saying is that Georgia has dominated the Auburn for so long now that it's not a rivalry anymore. And that's sort of the same argument I've used with South Carolina. But at the end of the day, it still is a rivalry.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
So the line is what, 30 on that game?
29.5. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
You know,
there's your lock of the week. They don't cover.
Yeah, you want to say that, but Auburn's really bad.
They are.
I mean, have you seen Georgia play the last 2 weeks?
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know.
It's interesting because you're going to see a heavy dose of Brock Bowers in this game, I think. They should, or at least you should.
Well, it seems like he's the only playmaker they have on offense, isn't it?
I mean, Stetson Bennett hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in the past 3 games or 2 games.
Well, and it's one of those, like, a lot of people brought up early in the season, and I think defenses may have just keyed in on when you're not throwing the ball. I mean, when you're constantly throwing the ball within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, either behind or in front of, how many times are you going to get away with breaking off 60-yard runs afterwards?
Right.
That's right. It's the pickleball offense, as they say on the Solid Verbal. It's all played in a box.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, look, I don't think Auburn's going to score any points on them because their offense is a tire fire. They're horrible. But, yeah, I think the question – I mean, what's the over-under on that one is the real question for me.
On the Auburn and Georgia?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I wouldn't bet that spread. I wouldn't bet it either way because Georgia can obviously come out and just punch them in the face and blow them out.
They could, but for all the love LSU's getting, I mean, that Auburn LSU game was 17.
喂，你好，我之前点了一个点。
Point total is 49.5. So what are you taking there?
Hold on.
I'd take the under.
Also, I would take the under as well.
Well, my rule of thumb is anything at 50, take or 50 or less, take the over. But man, I think I'm with you guys. I think I might take the under on this one too. I don't think Auburn's going to score very much at all, and I don't with the limited offense at Georgia right now. I don't know how much they can score either. So I'd probably take the under. Yeah. LSU covers. Well, I've got LSU winning the game outright. What do you guys think about that game? That's a good one.
The only way LSU wins is if they find a way to keep Tennessee under 30. Because I don't think LSU can win a shootout with Tennessee.
A fair point. Game's in Death Valley, the fake Death Valley.
If it was at night, I'd be completely on board with you that absolutely LSU is going to win.
I don't know. We saw this. So Mississippi State came into LSU, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, LSU's terrible." And I mean, look, Mississippi State's winning right now. Offense is cooking. Had no problem. LSU had no problem with them.
Yeah.
Just a hard place to win in Louisiana. It really is. And I'm not convinced that they're terrible. So I don't know. That's an interesting one. That's the one I'm streaming for the members. So we'll get to watch it together. But for Ovalucia there, it's going to be what, midnight? It'll be midnight your time.
Yes, correct. I'm not sure if I'll be able to be up and watching that given the vacation status. And all this will be, but I will be up to watch the Clemson game for sure.
Gotcha. Over under for Tennessee and LSU is 64. Oh, I'd probably take the over. That could be 45 to 40, 50 to 45 type of game.
Sorry, minor distraction there. What game are we talking? Sorry about that. What game are we talking about?
Tennessee and LSU.
Oh,
so that's the thing. I don't think LSU can hang with Tennessee in a shootout like that.
Agreed. There's no way LSU scored 42 points.
You know, I mean, have you seen Tennessee's defense?
Yes. I get that, but I mean, even as bad as I would put LSU's offense a little better. LSU's defense is definitely their strong suit.
Sure.
And their offense is a little better than Notre Dame's. And I mean, look at what Notre Dame did in North Carolina. They still only put up 35.
Tennessee's defense is better than North Carolina's.
Yeah. So
I'm telling you, I'm taking the over. I think there's going to be 80 points scored in that game. I also take LSU to win outright on the money line. They're an underdog at home. They shouldn't be. So
yeah, if there's 80 points scored, I would go with Tennessee.
Yeah. If LSU wins that game, it's 27-24 or something like that.
You got to remember, there's also points could be scored through special teams or even on defense. So it's not necessarily just the offense scoring points.
Sure. And LSU special teams is horrible.
Well, they were against Florida State. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people say they'd take the under. So I guess I'm in the minority there. I mean, 64 looks like a big number, but it's really not in this game, in my opinion. But
yeah, I don't know. I think we're looking at something more of like a 34-24 kind of situation for Tennessee.
That would be dangerously close to the well.
Yeah. What's that, 58?
That's 58, yeah.
I can see LSU winning like 31-24 or 31-27, something like that.
Yeah. Are you on LSU too, son?
No, he's on Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm on Tennessee.
With your trying to take the over, I'm on Tennessee because, like I said, I don't think LSU's going to win a shootout. If LSU's defense can slow down Tennessee, that's the whole key.
Yeah.
Like I said, if Tennessee scores 30, over 30, I think LSU loses.
What about?
I mean, I'm looking at my sheet here. I mean, I'm thinking of like what games. I'm confident that TCU beats Kansas. I'm confident that Arkansas covers I have it at 8 against Mississippi State. I don't think Mississippi State should be an 8-point favorite over Arkansas, right? Am I wrong there?
No, I absolutely think it should be more than that. Mississippi State's offense has kind of got rolling.
Yeah.
And Arkansas has been my disappointing team.
Arkansas secondary is really bad. Really bad.
Would be a problem.
Yeah.
I love the Catholics versus Mormons in Vegas matchup.
That's a great one.
Yeah, the Holy War in Sin City. I love the irony there.
Wouldn't it be great if one of the players from either team got caught with cocaine and hookers?
Yeah. Oh, listen, here's the thing about it. Repressed people like that are the first people that's going to happen to. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's like those videos you see those Amish kids that go nuts whenever they go out in the real world.
Absolutely.
I wish that I'll be in Vegas in a couple of weeks. I wish I would have been there for this game. That'd have been fun. I would have found out where they're staying and gone and got some footage, try to talk to some of them.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been great.
Now, hopefully nobody gets catfish like Manti Te'o.
Oh, jeez. Another great game of the week. I think we might have talked about this at the top of the show. Florida State and NC State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should be rooting for NC State. Yeah.
Yes.
If Florida State loses, Clemson's basically got the division.
Yeah, we're actually Wolfpack fans this week. That's true. Yeah. Unfortunately.
And I mean, look, I don't anticipate that we lose to Florida State.
I don't
although
either.
I think it is a trap game it's a dangerous game for us.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario that it doesn't go our way, I think we need to see them lose this game.
Isn't that a game in Tallahassee too when y'all play Florida State?
We play Florida State in Tallahassee. Yeah. After this week we got Boston College, which obviously I think is an easy win for Clemson. Then we have Syracuse at home.
That's a rout. Come on.
Well, I should be. But then
Syracuse undefeated. Y'all watch your dirty mouth.
So we have Syracuse at home, and we travel to Florida State. So
right,
and then finally we have a bye week after that, I believe.
That's like I was talking to T2I about it the other day. If Florida State loses this game, there's a serious possibility that they're staring at 4-4 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I mean, if they drop 3 in a row, I would, because they'd be so downtrodden and depressed, I would pick Georgia Tech to beat them at that point.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
I think they would just be so down at that point. Georgia Tech might catch them.
Yeah, I'm going to pump my brakes on the Georgia Tech hype for right now.
No, that's not a hype. That would be more on Florida State than it would be Georgia Tech by a long shot.
Yeah, that would be really funny.
Yeah, it would be
God
funny.
forbid they'd lose to Miami in Miami after that and lose 5 in a row after starting off 4-0. Jesus.
That'd be great.
That Fire Norvell train would be back rolling on the tracks very quickly.
Oh, yeah. You'd be hearing a lot of Dion being thrown around if that happened.
Well, you're hearing that anyway.
Dude, I don't know. I was on a stream with T2I when Travis Hunter committed to Jackson State. And, I mean, there were Florida State fans posting on social media immediately after. They were burning Dion jerseys. They're still pissed at him.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, these people are...
I mean, come on.
They burning Dion jerseys.
The one T2I, the first one T2I pulled up, I mean, dude had a framed, I'm assuming signed Dion jersey since it was framed. And dude just had a fire in a 55-gallon barrel in his backyard and stuffed it in there.
What an idiot.
You couldn't just sell it on eBay?
Yeah, I mean, at least make some money off of it.
What a fucking moron.
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was hilarious.
It is hilarious, but it's just, you know what else is hilarious is how stupid people are.
It's
Oh yeah. Believe me, I gotta find something. Okay, I'm dealing with it stupid in my own fan base right now.
Utah and UCLA. What is this? Over and under? I think this is a good game here too.
That's the other one I completely disagree with you about. I'm not saying UCLA is bad, but Utah looks a whole lot better by the eye test to me.
Agreed. Utah's a tough team. They play tough up front on defense. I think they punch UCLA in the mouth and win.
Well, I mean, Vegas agrees with you. I mean, UCLA is a 4.5-point underdog at home. So I disagree, though. I've been sort of downtrodden UCLA since the beginning of the season, but I've watched a couple of their games this season. And now, defensively, there's a little bit to be desired there, but offensively, they can run the ball. They got 3 guys, and they run the shit out of the ball, and they're very effective at it. If you can't stop the run, you can't beat UCLA. If you're
Chip Kelly's going to find a way to move the ball and put up some points. I mean, that's just what Chip Kelly's going to do. But I've watched both teams, too, and I don't think UCLA is bad. I just think Utah's better.
I think Utah stops the run fairly well. If you have to rely on your run game to beat Utah, you're not going to do it most of the time.
I don't know, man. Yeah, Florida ran effectively against Utah. Of course, that was week 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is an interesting game, though. Imagine UCLA, if they do win this game, they'll be in the driver's seat in the Pac-12. Well, you'll still have USC, too, which I think I'm still not sold on USC at this point.
No, they look bad against Oregon State.
They looked really bad, and that's the only game I've seen them actually play from start to finish. But they looked really, really bad, and I think they've sort of, I think it's a lot of flashy fool's gold stuff with them right now. And if they play a real opponent, they might get exposed. But I don't know yet. They'll play Washington State this week. They're favored by 11.5. Washington State's 4-1 though.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that one at all.
Yeah. I'm just waiting on the other shoe to drop with USC. I mean, obviously they have a lot of talent. They went and got, how many players did they get out of the portal? I mean, like 24 or some shit. It was a lot. They've got some good players. Caleb Williams is really the best player on the team. Jordan Addison's obviously a good receiver. But the offensive line was the biggest issue for me. The Beavers' defensive line just manhandled USC's offensive. I mean, Caleb Williams was right. If it weren't for Caleb Williams being on that team, they would have lost that game by 2 touchdowns in Corvallis. He's just that good. He's that good of an athlete.
Yeah, 14-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with that game at all. It's a weird one.
Yeah. And then, of course, we just got done talking about BYU and Notre Dame. That's another one. In Sin City. Whose idea was it to have this game there?
I mean, it's wild, right?
You're fired.
I mean, somebody is trolling the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So this is going to be in the Raiders Stadium, I guess, right?
Yeah, at the Giant Roomba. at the Roomba.
Man, I wish I was been there for that. I would have went to that game because I want to go to that stadium anyway.
You can go see the Raiders play and Hunter the Goat Renfro in there. He comes back from his concussion.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. No, they're away the week that we go there. Unfortunately, we did look into it actually.
I do want to get me a Renfro jersey, man. I got to get that.
He got that bag in the offseason, man.
No. Do you reckon I should get the black one or the white one?
I would definitely say the black one if it's Raiders. Yeah.
It's iconic, right?
Yeah, because every team has a white jersey, right? So, but yeah, you got to get the black one.
Probably true.
Black and silver, definitely. It just looks cooler, doesn't it?
Go ahead.
I said it just looks cooler, the black and silver than the white and silver.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, I had a Charles Woodson one when I was a kid in the black and silver, and yeah, it was good. But yeah. How about the Jags, man? I'm not sure what to do with them right now.
Well, they're still, I think, favored to win their division because the Colts don't look very good. The Texans are trash, and Tennessee, I don't know what's going on with them.
Well, the thing about Trevor is looking better, and he had 5 turnovers last week, which sucked. But
Well, it was in pouring down rain. Slippery. He kept dropping the ball.
I'm less concerned. I'm more concerned with the Travis situation because James Robinson is just so damn good, man, and he's just he's Bogarting all the carries,
Yeah.
But the Titans are easy to figure out. I mean, how long were you going to get away with Derrick Henry being your entire offense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Tannehill sucks.
They won.
I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. They didn't have. I mean, who's the number one receiver there?
Well, Burks is hurt, right?
Exactly.
Robert Woods, I guess.
They had Julio, but I mean, they had the same problem that Julio's had, half of his career now, and he's still having. He can't stay healthy.
Right. Yeah, I don't know about Tennessee. Tennessee's great up front on defense, but and they have Henry. What else are they good at?
That's about it.
They're good at disappointing their fan base.
True.
I saw a video of some Titans fan. He was melting down in his car. It was great. It was all over Twitter. He's like, I'm rich. I don't have any wife or any kids. The only thing I live for other than money is the Titans. And they continue to fuck me over every single year.
Yeah, he's making poor decisions.
Yeah.
In his life. So I saw a funny meme, actually, that you just said that. And it was an Instagram model, some IG, whatever. And she posted on Twitter, she said something like, men, disdainfully, men will cheat on their beautiful wives, but they'll stay loyal to an NFL team like the Jets for their whole life. And a guy responded, he's like, their wives don't fuck them, but the Jets fuck them every week.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't keep up with what's going on in Tom Brady's marriage, but if they're really hiring divorce attorneys, I'm putting money on Tampa to win the Super Bowl. Because if he's gonna end up divorced, I'll bet that he's gonna end up with a Super Bowl ring at the very least.
Yeah, I can't say that Buccaneers fans should be upset about this news. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a huge distraction. It's a distraction.
Yeah. It's a distraction if the team lets it. Now, I don't think that Tom Brady's going to let it really affect him.
Of course not.
So with her out of the picture, does he try to play again next year too? How long does this go on for?
Shit.
He won't be in Tampa. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is his last year. Yeah.
Well, she should know that too. Then, if that's what I mean, look, obviously there might be other shit going on we don't know about. But if that's what it's all about, then she could.
Well, he's already signed the contract with Fox Sports, so.
Oh, well.
So yeah, he's not playing anymore. He's going to be commentating next season.
Maybe she doesn't want him to do that. Maybe she just wants him to do nothing and just be home all the time. I don't know.
Well, I think that's why he came back. It went from, Skip and Shannon aren't talking about him every 5 minutes, and she's telling him to take out the garbage. He's like, fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, I guarantee you that's what it is. And I mean, as much as Tom Brady tries to be the type not to show it, his ego is just as big as Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, totally. Obviously. Yeah, of course.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is just more upfront about it. You know, Tom Brady tries to come across as the, you know, golly juck, gee whiz kind of guy. It's like, bro, you're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, nobody at all buys that. No one.
He's a straight assassin. He wants to win at all costs, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, because and you know, Skip talks about it all the time, but I mean, everybody's seen it. You know, when he goes psycho on the sidelines or during games. I mean, he may squeal like a bitch, but he'll talk his shit to anybody. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
yeah, I mean, yeah. You remember the Super Bowl? He went and chased down Honey Badger for coming and sticking a finger in his face and talking shit to him.
Yeah.
I like both of them.
He cuts the young guys no slack at all.
I like Tom Brady, and I like Aaron Rodgers too. Different reasons, but I like both of them.
My only problem with Aaron Rodgers is, you know, he keeps wanting to get bigger and bigger contracts and then bitches when they don't have the money to get him help.
I don't really think he does bitch about it.
Oh yes.
No, I mean I think what he bitched about was them drafting a quarterback in the first round instead of a receiver. That's not a contract thing. That's just stupid. I mean,
well, I mean, he didn't bitch when they drafted him early in the draft when they still had.
Yeah, but that's out of his control. He's talking about now. Look, if you're going to give me all this money and commit to me, then how about not draft a fucking quarterback in the first round? Go get me some help.
Well, I mean, how much he had literally the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, I don't know.
He had Devontae Adams. They couldn't afford to keep Devontae because he wanted, you know, $60, $70 million a year, or whatever the hell it is they're giving him.
Yeah, I mean, I do think they have a damn good defense, though. I mean, I think they are a threat this year. I think they're a good team. I mean, of course they are. They always are. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is his year to finally get number 2, but I don't know, man. It might be.
Who is it? Jordan Love? Who they drafted? Jesus Christ. I mean, look.
This year?
No,
they drafted 2 guys on defense in the first round this year, and then they took that receiver from North Dakota State who looks terrible.
Yeah.
In the second.
I was talking about whenever 2 years ago, whenever, you know.
Oh, yeah. They took Jordan Love or whatever.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
That was really dumb. So.
Great way to piss him off publicly.
Yeah, well, he got the last laugh. He got the bag, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's why he's got nothing but Alan Lazard to throw the ball to.
And to be honest with you, I really don't think Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day really gives a shit if he wins another Super Bowl or not. I mean, he's paid and he won.
Oh, if he
won.
If he had gotten that job to host Jeopardy, he'd have been retired from football already.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that.
The thing is that, like, you know, obviously this is something that none of us can really sort of comprehend, but, you know, when you have, you know, when you're worth deep into the 9 figures, right? And, you know, you've got all the money that you're going to need or want, basically. I mean, for all intents and purposes, right? Like, don't you think that your legacy for your life's work, being a football player, would be a little bit more important than padding your bank account a little bit more? You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I don't think that. Look, but judging from what I see from Aaron Rodgers, he's a very open and honest person. And to me, football is his job, and I know he loves it, but I don't think it's the most important thing in his life. As a matter of fact, I think he's going to walk away from this game way before his contract's up. He's just going to walk away and go live his life.
I don't think he has that Tom Brady desire to
No,
win.
no, absolutely not.
That's why Tom Brady's willing. I mean, people talk about, oh, his wife's got so much money. But to me, I think that's why he's willing to give up money on his contract to get help around him, is because he just wants to win.
Yeah, exactly. See, you just hit the nail on the head. You have two extremely competitive and talented people that have different mindsets on what their life should be about. And I just don't think that Aaron Rodgers, I think football is really secondary to the quality of life, and he's got enough money. Sure, he wants to win when he's on the field, but I don't think he's chasing Super Bowls or anything like that. I really don't. I wouldn't be surprised to see him walk away after this season.
I mean, if he doesn't,
or maybe next
season,
season
really
or something.
Don't have that mentality that's what you're trying to do most of all. You are kind of doing a disservice to the fan base, though.
Not really. I mean, he doesn't owe anybody anything.
Well, I mean, the whole point is to win, and if that isn't your number one goal, because I mean that's number one goal of the fan base.
Professional sports is a dirty game. Okay, so the organization looks out for their best interest, and the player looks out for their best interest, and I don't think that Aaron Rodgers owes anybody anything. I mean,
I think he do. I think you do to the fan base.
But why? The fan base will turn on you quick.
I agree with Pete on this one. I don't think he owes anybody anything, but if I was a fan of that team, I would like to see him, make it more of a priority. He's only got a limited time left in the league. And if I were a Packer fan, which I'm not, but, I'd be really thankful for his contribution, obviously. But at the same time, you can't legislate his own personal goals and values and things like that. Right. I mean, if you're a Packer fan, it's hard to bitch about Aaron Rodgers, right?
And I'm not trying to, but my point is, you do kind of owe something to the fan base, because if it wasn't for the fan base, they don't have the money to pay you that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The owners are billionaires, man. So.
Like I said, I'm not even talking about the owners. They're not even in the equation.
Well, they're the ones that are actually paying Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and they get the money from the fan base.
Well,
people buying tickets, people buying concessions, people buying gear.
Well, more so people watching on TV to get the $1 billion TV deals, but and the sponsorship. But look, I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers, you can't really complain about. Now, I don't know if you guys watch the NBA, but somebody like Ben Simmons, now that's somebody that I could bitch about. If I was a Philadelphia 76ers fan, I would be super pissed off. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to the NBA.
What about Zion?
Well, Zion's trying. Zion's just been hurt. Simmons was like, I have a mental block and I can't play. Even though I'm making $25 million this year, I'm just going to sit out the whole season and demand a trade. Okay, fuck that.
Zion's been hurt for 5 years?
No, Zion's ready. Zion's coming, man. Don't count Zion out yet.
Okay, I'm just saying he's been hurt for 5 years?
Not 5. He's only been in the league for, I think, 3. But
yeah, but you get my point. I mean, this far into his career, he's a bust. So far.
Well, they just gave him a huge contract, and I think he's gonna. I think that unless he suffers a major injury, he's gonna come back real strong. They're gonna be really good, man.
Well, I hate to cut the conversation short, but I actually have to go. Mrs. Peete had to leave. I got to go get my kids from school, or my kid from school. I got to go.
All right.
But great show. Had fun with the space talk, the football talk, the big titty talk, the whole thing. It was great.
Absolutely.
So, well, have a good trip, Volusia. Be safe.
Appreciate it. We got a few more days. We're in Ordos. We're going up to Balto tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. My first time up in this part of the country, so we'll make the best of it. But I'll definitely try and tune in during the Clemson game for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. We'll have a good time.
Bye, man.
All right. See you
soon.
All right, Slim.
All right, boss man.
All right. Thank you as always. See you later, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Slim Shady Canes, Volusia Orange, and some of the other panel members that were on today. Of course, everybody in the chat. You guys are all amazing and fantastic. Had a good time today. I'll be back tonight at 10 p.m. for the college football call-in show. So make sure you set your alarms and whatnot for that. All right, guys. Have a great Wednesday. I'll see you tonight. Your boy's checking out.